Hello there again. It's hard to talk about that discount sushi place and not reminisce on the first time I had sushi out in California. I was with one of our salespeople, Bob Nelson, a great guy, a motorhead, very successful man, and we had just finished doing a trade show, at least finished for the day. We had to go get something to eat. So we're driving up and down and around Hollywood, California, where the big sign is on the hill. And we're trying to figure out what we want to eat. And, Bob, Robert would say, how about Italian? I said, nah, nah. He said, how about German? Nah, 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 nah. And we went on and on and on. French? Nah, 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 nah. Chinese? Nah, 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 nah. Finally, we saw this sign that said, Japanese restaurant. And I'm thinking to myself, I really haven't been to a Japanese restaurant. I've been to a lot of Chinese restaurants, and I said, well, how's that sound? He goes, well, that sounds good. So we go into this place, and we sit down, and I get some sake, and he gets some beer, and the waiter brings out this menu and all kinds of weird stuff, and Bob's getting like shrimp, and he points to this one thing, and he said, "What is that?" And the waiter says it's a giant cram, giant cram. And Bob says, "Giant cram? What the heck's giant cram? Could you write that? Could you write that down for me?" So sure enough, the guy takes out a pen and paper and pencil, and he writes, CRAM, cram. And what it was, of course, it was giant clam. But apparently, he was told it was by whoever he was working for, told him it was cram. And he, phonetically, he spelled out cram. That's what he was told, So anyhow, so he had all kinds of pretty benign stuff. I was eating, sea urchins, the more bizarre thing that they had. I figured I could get, regular stuff any place I wanted. So I had sea urchin and some other stuff, and we're having a good time. And so I see this green stuff, and having been a Mexican food aficionado, first thing I thought it was guacamole, little avocado, and some sort of scoopable form. And I said, wow, that looks good. So I take a big spoon of what I thought was guacamole, and it turned out to be wasabi sauce. So I take this stuff and take it down like it's nothing. And all of a sudden I saw God. I'm telling you, I never felt a feeling like that in my whole life. I mean, I wasn't even anticipating. It was just there. And so I frantically looked down the table, grabbed my sake, and I sucked that down. And and poor Bob Nelson, he's looking at me in horror. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. He figures like I'm having a heart attack or something. I grab his beer, and I start chugging his beer down. And next thing I know, I see two guys running out of the kitchen going, hot sauce, hot sauce. And they're both carrying a big glass of water. And they put the water down on the table in front of me, and I start chugging down these glasses of water. Everybody's cheering me on and clapping and applauding. Anyhow, move forward many years. There's a place on Route 22. It's a circular building, and it also has, Japanese food. And I was with my brother Robert. And so we're sitting there, we're having some sushi, and so I'm looking in total disbelief, and I should have stopped him, but it happened too quick, I think. And so, I mean, he's a very worldly guy. He's been all over the world. He's been to Japan, and you name the place, he's been there. So, anyhow, he's there, and sure enough, the same must be genetic. So he takes a spoonful of this wasabi, and boom, it's gone. And the same thing. He took down his drink and grabbed mine, and I think I gave him some sugar or something to help him out on the deal. I'm told that's what you're supposed to do, but that was, yeah, hot sauce, wasabi. There's a big difference, folks, between wasabi and guacamole. So that's a freebie from me to you, and make sure if you do go to a Japanese restaurant, you don't confuse the two because you'll have a religious experience. Take care.